Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's good. I'm just trying to see if I can't get something. Yeah, I'm trying to get my index up here. Um, Yeah, because I was doing it from my phone for NFP, but I can't seem to get it. But anyway, let's get it rocking. Let me just quickly share my screen. All right, perfect. You guys should be seeing my screen very soon.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, you should see my screen. All right, guys. So if you didn't know, it is NFP week this week. It's NFP week this week. Sorry, can I just quickly do something? Um, yeah, it's NFP week this week. So, very interesting week. You guys know how we go in, and also a refinancing rate from Europe coming in. So we expect to see quite a lot of movement on Thursday and also on Friday. Um, so the ADP NFP, when I started trading, which ADP NFP always happens on Wednesday, it was quite a mover, but I've seen over time it doesn't move like it normally would. So the main focus then for this week would be Thursday and Friday. Right, with Thursday, the sorry about that. With Thursday, we have the refinancing rate coming out, and then Friday is the big one, NFP coming out. So it's really going to be interesting to see what's going to be the outcome. Although what I'm looking at so far this week is a weak dollar. As I said, even on the index, I can see a weak dollar. I was trying to bring the index up for you. So we'll just trade it carefully. One thing is we are at a support place. So those who know my strategy know that if we not in a support or resistance, I follow the trend. But then if we there, then I go the other way. So I am gonna wait for Thursday for me to give confirmation as to what direction I am looking at. And one quick one, one that I used to get from Easy Forex is he would like to trade the CAD and the USD because of obviously there's high impact news from CAD and the dollar. So normally, if they would have opposite news, then the movement would be more than you'd find on like a GBP USD or a USD JPY. Khotso, please stop drawing on the charts. It's really distracting on the screen. And then yeah, for NFP, as you can see as well, we do have a forecast of a lower number, so that's why I'm expecting a weaker dollar. But as I said that as the week progresses, then I'll know what I'm trying to do. But anyway, let's have a dive in the charts there, starting on Euro JPY. So last week we looked at the monthly, and then we started coming down to the different time frames. So how I feel about Euro JPY is still a buy. Although Aubrey, please don't draw on the charts, it's really distracting. Last week I saw a buy. So this week, I'm still looking at the buy, But I suspect that markets are just gonna want to come violate these lows again before continuing with the buy trend. So already when we look at the weekly candle, sorry, I'm zooming out instead of zooming in, we can see that we had a nice candle over there, nice bullish candle, closing just above last week's low. I mean, last week's high. So that is an indication that we're looking at going up. Market did open with a gap, and they haven't really closed the gap. So that's one thing that markets do tend to like to do is go ahead and close the gaps that they've created. So for Euro JPY, I am looking at being a buyer. And then for GBP USD, well, the sell-off that I expected actually ended up happening for the rest of the week. And then with the new week coming in here, we haven't violated any major low that we have created. So as far as GBP USD is concerned, I'm also looking at a buy, as I'm saying that, looking at a weak dollar. And if we can just come out here is we can look at this candle that yes, this candle the week before was a huge buy. Last week we had some sellers come in, but they didn't even move 50% of this candle. So this is still showing us, and especially with this candle, it doesn't seem to have a bottom or a top. So it is a big indicator of us continuing in that momentum. And like I said, that we did break these highs, right? Last year's highs. And if we can just look at when markets got into last year's highs, they created a bullish candle and they went out of that zone. So that's the movement that I'm looking for the rest of the week. Actually, this morning when I opened my charts, I was like, okay, we're on a buy, and I was a bit mad that I didn't enter that buy before. But I think we're gonna see a bit of a retracement first before we get into it. That's why the USD CAD, especially with this double bottom occurring over here, us really holding that price, it actually would have been nicer to be a buyer about 2 hours ago when we saw this candle being formed over here. So what I'm expecting to see is for us to come back and just violate these highs. So I just want to bring the Fibonacci, violate the highs and come around to this zone over here, where we'll look left to see if any structure leaves clues there. As we can see that previously this was a quite a big support zone. So that is what I'm expecting to see. I'm expecting to see markets move up, get to this point, and then start moving down again, all in anticipation of the NFP obviously being weak. So that's what I'm looking at for this week. All right. And let me just quickly move on. I actually realized that I didn't give any target zones for Euro JPY or GBP USD. So Euro JPY, let's just do this, find the high and the low. So what we can expect is to see at least them coming up to last month's high, which was 164.900, or you could simply round off and say 165. So I'm expecting to see us get to that price, and then from there we'll decide whether we continue being buyers or if we start being sellers, depending on again how market reacts when it gets to that zone. So buying first target being 164,200, and the next target being 164,900. And as well for GBP USD, let's bring those in. Let's see if they come through with a little bit of structure, which these are prices that we haven't seen for a couple of years now. So this is about 2022. So can I just clear the screen? Sorry. Yeah. So seeing us to come to the highs of 2022 again, this may not be a now movement, but then because we're very close to that price, I do see us getting up here, and then from there we'll see how markets respond to that, because we can see obviously when we looking at it through the years. They bought this year, they bought this year. So even this year, we want to continue seeing the rise of the pound, and also it is politically influenced with what Trump is doing. And then gold, I'm looking at being a buyer. Obviously, again, like I said, with what Trump is doing, and that we went down last week. We went down last week, but coming into this new week, we immediately violated those lows. We filled the gap that was created last week, and we've made higher highs in the past 2 weeks. We have made definite higher highs. So that is giving me then the confidence to be a buyer on gold. And then Euro JPY, just an interesting one. Right, we've been sliding down, sliding down, sliding down, sliding down, sliding down. But now finally we got to a place where market lost momentum. We came up, market pulled back, and when we had a pullback, we pulled back into that region over there, which was previous resistance, and over here we can see that that was previous resistance over there, and it came through to be support over here, and market has been going up. So also for a Euro JPY, I am looking at a buy. Let's just see. Volume. I'm not too sure. Is everybody else also having volume issues? Is anybody else also having volume issues? But remember that the recording is available. The recording is available then on Telegram. So just a quick recap. It looks like we're buying everything this week. Euro JPY, we're looking at buys. GBP USD, looking at buys. USD CAD, looking at buys to eventually sell. Gold, we're looking for buys, and I think that we do have some nice play room over here to go up to about like 3,434. So 3,434. That's a region that I think we can go at, and then Euro GBP. Let's quickly get the targets for there. So target, always look left because structure leaves clues. Going into not last week's high, but highs of 2 weeks ago. Take profit one being 0.4600. I'll leave it at a round number there, and then next one at 0.4850. Which, if we can look left, also comes into quite important structure over there where the market was heavily supported. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for the week. This is what I'm looking for the week, and obviously, if I have any updates, then I'll give you guys. The guys in my signal group, you guys, fortunately. I do give you the NFP signal once it is a confirmed thing. But for now, we are looking at an in-between situation. I just want to see the rest of the week develop. As I say, I am looking at a weak dollar for now, especially with how it's been going. It is at a support place with the dollar index, but because that support was reached way before NFP, I think we'll just ignore that structural piece of play and then wait for it to move. All right, guys, happy trading. Let's do the most this week. Know that most volatility is going to be kept for Thursday and Friday. So even if you're going to be taking trades tomorrow or Wednesday, don't overcommit, right? Rather play it simpler, and then save up all your money for the big moves that are happening on NFP. All right, guys, happy trading, happy trading. Some of you guys, I'll see you in the Signal group there, and then some of you guys, I'll see you next week. Cheers.